Welcome to qnawire.
Here we have an example of centripetal acceleration. So there's an airplane pulling out of a vertical dive, and we want the pilot to experience no more than 4 Gs of acceleration. So what they are basically telling us is the centripetal of acceleration is 4 Gs at most. So G being 9.8 meters per second squared. And we know centripetal acceleration is v squared over r. We know the velocity or speed of the airplane is 95 meters per second, and we need to find the r, which is the radius of the circular dive. So centripetal acceleration works when moving in a circle. So we can solve for r. It is basically v squared over a. With r being smaller, the larger the centripetal acceleration needs to be. And that can get uncomfortable. But let's just solve for the r in this case. So we'll put in everything in terms of MKS units, and we'll get r in meters. And that turns out to be something reasonable, about 230 meters. We're also asked to find the apparent weight of the pilot coming out of that dive. And so to find the weight, we are going to use Newton's second law with centripetal acceleration. So the sum of the radial forces, or centripetal forces, has to equal ma centripetal. And this is where a free body diagram on the pilot will help. So I'll just show a sort of point mass pilot. Not quite. But they will have a normal force on them from the seat on which they are sitting, and then their weight, mg. And you do not want to draw those the same way. So the center of the circle, let's just kind of show this, not to scale, but the center of the circle is up above the pilot, somewhere in space. And so the sum of the forces towards the center of the circle is the normal force minus mg has to equal ma sub c. And here, remember that apparent weight is the normal force acting on you, not your mg. What you feel as your weight is basically not only the floor pushing up against you, but your mg essentially pulling down on you, and kind of the action of those two compress your bones and your tissues. Okay, so the normal force is your apparent weight, and let's solve for that. It is MAC, which is going to be equal to 4G plus one more mg. So yeah, the pilot will actually feel 5 Gs of force. And we're told, let's see, the pilot is 50 kilograms. And then we have 5 times 9.8 meters per second squared, for a grand total of 2,450 newtons. So you can see that a lot of doing these stunts requires suffering high G environments. which these pilots are trained to handle and wear special equipment to handle it.